This is Sarah Fang from Period 3. I'm going to be talking about my game Romeo and Juliet Trivia. My topic is Romeo and Juliet. My educational goal is to give students a deeper understanding about the characters in Romeo and Juliet. My target audience is Monte Vista freshmen. My two inspirations for this game were A. Trivia Crack, a game in which users can answer multiple choice questions about random trivia. The game SimCity Build It later in the process of my game. The user can immediately access 4 different panels. Learn component, they're brought to another panel where they can choose from 6 different major characters. Choosing this major character will bring them to a character biography panel in which a biography of the character is given. There's a JText field on the bottom where they can enter another character's name to see how this character relates to this character. And we enter in Juliet. We can see that they love each other. Here, we can go back, navigate to the home, and we can also go to the trivia part of the game. If the user enters right, they'll essentially gain 2 points. If the user enters wrong, they will lose 2 points. Here we see that another aspect of the game is prizes. Essentially gets a chance to randomly earn one of 6 prizes. So these point. So how the levels differ in this game is as you keep on going on, the questions get harder in that the answers get more similar and they're harder to differentiate to a certain number of points by a certain question to be able to access a harder set of questions. So the points the user earns through playing this part of the game can be used to purchase more prizes. If we go navigate back to the home screen and click on I want some cool prizes, we're redirected to a panel in which we can use the points we earned in the trivia section to purchase the prizes. So remember, there's 6 types of prizes. They each have different costs. Let's just buy 1 denim. We see our points goes down, but our stock goes up. So basically the purpose of prizes serves to the end goal of the game, which is to make different things, different costs in terms of prizes. The user has enough, they will get an image displaying the prize. So now I'm going to go over the actual code itself. The user interacts from GUI. Remember, we saw in the game that the user navigates through the game by clicking on these J buttons. So the user also interacts with this JText field and something is painted on in response. Here we see I've used math.random, and the purpose of this math.random is to simulate a random chance of earning a prize in a game. So this essentially simulates the user having a 1 in 3 chance of getting a prize. Here I use math.random and if else to basically randomize the order in which the questions were displayed. I use string methods to determine what the user wanted. So here you can see I've used equals and basically compare the action command to what's on the J buttons to determine if the user had clicked on something and what the user wants to go. If else pretty much makes up the entire structure of my game. It's used a lot in my flip method, which has all the statements for my card layout. If a certain boolean is true, this boolean would be set true after an action had been taken. Then the holding layout or the card layout would show a certain card enters. So if the user has clicked on next, then there would be a certain response. So see if else to randomize the order in which answers are displayed. Here we see if else, if the user gets the answer correct, point plus equals 2. So basically throughout my entire game, I'm responding to everything the user does using if else. Here inheritance is used in my game in the form of extends. Each of my classes extends either JPanel or JFrame, and this inherits from a predefined Java class and allows me to use methods like setLayout and setBackground. Something else I used in my game was 1D arrays. 1D arrays were used to store the character relationships in games. If we remember, over here in the Learn section of the game, in my character biographies, there is a part of the game in which we can type in a name and we get a response. So the way the program knows all these relationships between characters is because I stored it in 1D arrays. It's that Romeo's array at Julius index is the byte that is called love, which basically lets us know that Romeo loves Juliet. Image files displayed in my prize panels in the character biography panels. They're also on the home screen, and use action events for my entire game. So action events would be in the form of clicking on J buttons which we can see in this action performed method. These are the commands of the J buttons, and if the user clicks on it, they get a response in the form of a change in the panel that's being displayed, or a different flip in the card layout. I also use action in the form of J text field. Remember, the user can enter a character name. They will get a response in the form of a different string being drawn onto the used layouts, because my entire game is basically just held in one giant card layout, and I have a very large flip method that has card layout statement. Also, for each individual panel within my game, I use different layouts to format and make the game look nicer. For example, in my home panel, I use border layout. I also use frames because all my panels in the game are encased in one big J-frame. Here, public class Romeo extends J-frame. So how I responded to feedback is, originally in my game, I actually didn't have any prizes or any build something, but then I saw that in evaluation Bs, a lot of my users weren't really excited about it, so I thought I'd add a prize component in which the user could earn prizes and hopefully make it more fun for the user, that they would have a random chance to earn prizes. And I also responded to what my mentor said by changing the number of answers and the type of answers that I was giving in the trivia section.